CNP featured research. This is your diet mental health break, brought to you by the Center for Nutritional Psychology. 2 minutes to learn and be good to yourself.
Can restrained eating lead to increased hunger and food craving? Food is one of our most fundamental needs. We need food to survive. This is why our ancestors evolved many physiological and psychological mechanisms to ensure that we prioritize securing enough food. However, from the mid-20th century onward, industrially processed food, which often has much higher caloric value than naturally occurring food, became widely available. This semi-solution has eliminated food insecurity in some parts of the world, but created a new global challenge: obesity. Obesity rates have been rising for decades, and many researchers discuss an obesity pandemic. For many modern humans, the effort is not in finding enough food, but ensuring they eat only as much as their body needs. As we know from nutritional psychology, many factors influence our dietary intake desire and behavior. This dilemma has led many people to try to limit their food intake consciously, a behavior that some scientists call restrained eating. While this is a logical step in avoiding overeating, restraint in today's dietary landscape might leave an individual hungry and craving food, thus increasing the chance that they'll overeat in the future to compensate for this restraint. Study author Dicker-Oren and colleagues wanted to examine how restrained eating, food craving, hunger, and negative emotions change in real time. They organized a study in which 123 individuals from the general population of Israel reported their eating-related sensations and emotions 3 times a day for 10 days. An automated system sent them notifications in the morning, afternoon, and evening each day to complete the survey. In these surveys, participants completed assessments of food craving and hunger since they woke up or in the last 6 hours, reported on whether they practiced restrained eating, and whether they experienced 7 different negative emotions, nervousness, and anxiety. Results showed that participants who reported consciously limiting their food intake were more likely to be hungry and crave food later. Hunger at an earlier time point was associated with food cravings later. Participants who reported feeling stressed were also more likely to report craving food later. Participants practiced restrained eating less when they were angry. They tended to crave food more when they were bored. The study revealed a complex interplay between food-related sensations and negative emotions. Restrained eating seemed to drive hunger and food craving. Hunger also seemed to drive food craving. The finding that restrained eating, which represents an attempt by an individual to prevent excessive food intake, might have a reverse effect in the long run. This could be through increased hunger and food craving that can occur with highly restrained dietary intake efforts. While we know that dietary intake behavior is influenced by many factors, many of which are addressed in nutritional psychology, this study's findings could indicate that interventions aiming to reducing restrained eating and the psychological factors that go along with restraint might paradoxically have a positive effect on regulating food intake.
Our thanks to these researchers for conducting this informative study. This Diet Mental Health Break is brought to you by the Center for Nutritional Psychology, CNP.